Konnichiwa, true believers. It's Mason here with Comics and Crosses, and today we're doing something a little different. Normally we explore the eternal truths behind our modern mythology and have some neat one-shots or some Christian perspective reviews, but today I just thought I'd go through what's on the rack, what I'm reading, the comics for the week of October 20, I think it was, or October 21. Yeah, new comics for October 21, what I picked up, what I'm reading, some of my thoughts. I was able to get through a lot of my comics, but not everything. I'll share some of that with you, and I got a special unboxing here, so that's pretty cool. I got it started because I didn't want to, screw around too much on camera, but we'll check that out at the end and see what I got. So let's get right into it. This week was a cool week for comics, I would say. Got some unique stuff. Even saw some parallels in some of the stuff I was reading. Both Bruce Wayne and Tony Stark seem to be moving into a brownstone. A brownstone, I guess that's something that rich people do, rich superhero guys do when they need to get down to the roots, I guess. I looked up the definition. It's like old townhouse, or it's like old type of building. I think the idea is that they're getting down to the roots, but we'll talk about that in a second. Okay, first off, Batman on my pull list, and so maybe some spoilers. I'm trying to keep it general, but if you've already read and enjoyed your books, this may be a good video to talk about them. So, Batman, we are looking at Gotham post-Joker War and what's going on, and it's a crazy world indeed. I think people's faith in Bruce Wayne has changed, people's faith in Batman has changed, and it's a new situation. So, Bruce is being forced out of his company, it sounds like. Not really forced, but kind of the situation is basically that's what it is. Also, people are empathizing with Punchline, and the Joker's still at large, so there's kind of a craziness there, and Batman is exploring and thinking about getting down to his roots. It's seems like a new sort of phase for Bruce Wayne, sort of accepting what is, and just having to roll with it. I'm really excited to see where this series goes. If you were disappointed in Joker War, I have a good feeling about where the story's going to go from here. I think maybe Joker War might have been something that Tynion had to do in order to make the suits happy, but I think this next phase is really going to make the readers happy. Something is still killing the children, people. We are on issue 11. I picked up the issue 11 Virgin variant by Frisson, something like that. She does awesome covers, and this one is definitely one of those awesome covers. So got Erica Slaughter on here, and oh, did I also mention that this week my wife got me a new mask? Ta-da! So anyways, this series is awesome. This one I am reading just for enjoyment, although there are some concepts in here that you could take a Christian perspective on. I think it's just good entertainment. This really feels like a movie to me. I feel like in the storylines from issue 1 to now, I feel like we're getting to about, an hour 15, an hour 20 into this movie, where kind of we may be getting to late in the second act, maybe not quite the end where all hope is lost, but it's certainly intriguing. I feel like this story has so many places it can go and get deeper in, especially with the people in Chicago, and now we know that there's different, we've seen the different color masks, but they're actually whole different departments or sections, or I'm sure we'll find out more about what that is, but this story is great. In fact, I had to pick up the trade for volume 1, which is issues 1 through 5, because I'm not trying to pay that kind of money. But I got issues 6 through 11 now, so I'll put a link in this video. It's an affiliate link, so if you're gonna buy it anyway, I totally am for supporting your local comic shop, but it is just hard to get even the trade right now from the comic shop because this series is so popular. Check it out. Something is Killing the Children. James Tynion, love this series. I also picked up the new Dune series, House of Atreides, however it's pronounced. And I got the die cut cover, so pretty cool, pretty sweet. This one's in excellent condition. I almost feel like just not messing with it and just maybe saving it and selling it. I might go back and buy the regular cover just so I can read it. This one I did not get to yet this week, so I just wanted to show off the cover. I'll maybe share my thoughts on it later. Maybe look on Instagram for that one. Daredevil, out this week, Daredevil number 23. I've been really loving this series by Chip Zdarsky. I won't say too much because I didn't read this one yet either. Honestly, I'm behind people. I need to catch up. There's been just so much good stuff coming out, and but I have been picking this up because I really love just the place that Daredevil's at in his career, and kind of seeing the dynamic of this chess match with him and Fisk. Really cool. If you've been a fan of the Netflix series, I feel like this would be a good thing for you, because it kind of feels almost like it could be a sequel to that, or in that same world. Obviously it's Daredevil, but definitely try to jump on this Chip Zdarsky thing. I mean, it feels like a really sweet, really close, intimate Daredevil story, and I've been loving everything that I've read so far, and so can't wait to see him and his interaction with Spider-Man, who has crossed over in this current volume a couple times. Maestro number 3, man, this series is dope. I mean, what's his name? Peter David, he's written some great Hulk stuff in the past, but this is really cool. I mean, to see Hulk in a different scenario, but it all makes sense. The storytelling is very natural, and it's putting Hulk in a scenario that I think we can all follow, and he's seen the breakdown of society, everything that him and others have fought for. He's seeing it all laid desolate, and we're seeing a Hulk that's really lost his faith in humanity. So this issue was excellent, great, one of the best ones of the week so far for me. If you're not reading Maestro, go get it, go check it out, get a second print or whatever you got to do, because this is a cool story. Even if you're new to Hulk, I think the story stands on its own as something really interesting and fascinating. In his whole losing faith in humanity, Hulk actually is wrestling with being bitter against people, bitter against God, having a bitter root of unbelief. He even mentions God, and I think challenges God at one point to come stop him. So it's a really interesting kind of position that Bruce Banner, that the Hulk is in, where his heart has become very hardened. And so that's something that we actually see in scripture, we hear talked about. So I think this is an interesting character study or an examination of our own hearts, what's going on with the Hulk here, and maybe how a lot of people might feel in 2020 with everything that's going on, with all the divisiveness in the world right now. So I might even say give this a read and ask yourself how much you relate to the Hulk, or Maestro, or still the Hulk at this point. Stillwater, also by Chip Zdarsky. So writer of Daredevil, also through Image, is publishing his own unique original work called Stillwater. The concept, if you don't know, is a town where no one can die. It's a very small town. Most people have never heard of it. The people who go there basically never leave, or the people who live there. And an outsider comes in after a strange letter is received, and crazy situations follow. This is probably one of my top 5 titles out right now. It's really well written. It's really fascinating, and I think the individual scenes that are written in here are gripping enough. I just feel very gripped the whole time with this scenario. It doesn't come across as gimmicky or cheesy. I feel like the way that the situations that our main characters put in really pulls you in. I definitely recommend getting on this train while you can. Iron Man issue 2. Tony Stark is back. This is a great jumping on point for maybe people who were not super familiar with Iron Man. It's a new series. This is only the 2nd issue. So, I mean, I'm liking it. I don't know how other people feel about it, because it's certainly a a certain angle. This is almost like, it feels like midlife crisis Tony. So that may not be for everybody, but I think that the way that Tony is playing against the situations of the world, kind of the apathy and the social media times that we're in, are fascinating. I think that it's a good read. You know, if you get these 2 issues in and you don't like it, then maybe it's not for you. So that's possible. But hey, Alex Ross cover, and a cool story. I think I like to see Tony being challenged in this way, and he's trying to find his worth or his value in an age where now even heroes are commonplace. Family Tree number 9. Some of you are thinking, man, that's a great series. I'm glad he's reading it. Some of you are thinking, what's that? It's an Image book. A lot of great titles from Image. I loved the Threshing Floor from Jeff Lemire, a one-shot, part of the Immortal Hulk. Since I'm reading Immortal Hulk, I picked it up. Brilliant one issue that you can go read whether you're reading Immortal Hulk or not. And then I heard some good things about this title, that it was starting a new arc. People, this is some crazy-ish. There's trees, people are trees, and somebody told me after I got it that you really need to read issues 1 through 8. So, hey, I love comics. I was looking for a good book. I would need to catch up with this. I'm not sure that I will, but you know, probably people who are reading the series would tell me it's totally worth it. So, I don't know. We'll see. Okay, and we got Fantastic Four, number 25, I think. 25, 26, I don't know. That's the thing with these Alex Ross timeless variant covers, you know. We got Black Bolt on the cover. After reading the issue, I have no idea why Black Bolt is on this cover. Some of the Alex Ross timeless ones are like that. You can't quite tell what the book is if you just look at it, and it's sometimes not what you would think. Spoiler alert, Black Bolt doesn't even appear in this issue. But I'm still glad I got it. I love me some Black Bolt. He's dope, doesn't have to say much, total boss. So I love Fantastic Four. There's just so much craziness and like galactic, like universe, like implications and everything that's going on, high stakes, and you know, the family dynamic is fun, so it always feels kind of light, but at the same time I feel like the stakes are so serious. So I'm really enjoying it. There's some really cool moments here with Reed Richards and Dr. Doom that really remind you how they are kind of like mirror images of one another. And it was cool in this issue to see them kind of working side by side because the things they tackle are so big. Even though they're mortal enemies, you know, the magnitude of the stakes sometimes just demands that they focus and work together in a way. Because of both of their pursuit of science and information and discovery. It's like Reed for the right reasons, Victor not so much, but great issue, great, real big, thick issue. Felt like there was a lot of content there. If you're not into Fantastic Four, I don't know. I kind of feel like if you just know who they are, you can kind of jump in here, and it's just a cool, really one issue to check out and see if this is your flavor. Lastly, I am reading Ten of Swords, so I got those. Haven't read them yet because they really take a lot of focus, and I'm gonna take my time to read those. But Ten of Swords, guys, is good. Ten of Swords is really good. I'm enjoying it. You really kind of need to read House of X, Powers of 10, maybe, and then to kind of understand where the X-Men are at right now. But then you could start it at 10 of Swords. I think, yeah, you're missing some stuff, but it is a really cool storyline. I like how it's building. It's laying the groundwork for what I could see totally being a great movie at some point, but at the same time, there's so many X-Men characters that I don't know how they can ever tell these kind of stories on screen so much. But also Shang-Chi, I hear the plot of that has something to do with a tournament, so it may seem too similar. I don't know. We'll see how it goes. couple other side notes of what's on the rack and what I'm reading this week. Not exactly reading, but my smoking section is growing in that I got a couple ash cans. We got Scout Comics It Eats What Feeds It ash can. Pretty cool. I was hoping it'd be small, but it's normal size. But then I got an official, small, tiny ash can, Sensational Spider-Man Premium Gold one. Pretty cool. 8.5 they said from the shop where I got it. So I just wanted a couple ash cans. I think I'm going to put them up on the wall, maybe with a nice little smoking sign of some sort. And now, the unboxing of this package that I received. So, big shout out here to Comic Book Poser. I'll tag his channel in description as well. But he recommended to me that I check out a Mad Cave title called Knights of the Golden Sun. And so I have received here issues 1, 2, and 3. Pretty sweet looking covers, pretty epic. Especially that number 1. It's pretty sweet. Big archangel looking thing. So by Mark London and Mauricio Villarreal. And so this supposedly, I haven't read it yet, but I took Poser's recommendation because actually a couple people have mentioned this to me now, that this is right up my alley. There are 7 issues out as part of, I guess, the first volume or whatever, and issue 8 is actually coming out. They are continuing this series, so there must be something to this. I was told this is one of the better titles from Mad Cave, and that this is actually about the war of angels and demons in the heavens in the 400 years between the Old Testament and the New Testament. Pretty sweet stuff. We'll see. We'll see. I think it'll be great for me to cover these and talk about their accuracy when it comes to Holy Scripture, the Holy Bible, and where they've taken some liberties and what makes sense or what doesn't make sense from a Christian perspective. But it sounds pretty sweet. I mean, I know for a long time, I know a lot of Christian people who have thought that this kind of subject, wars in the heavens, would make great entertainment or media or writing or, TV shows or movies. So I picked up these guys, and then also, boom, got the issue 1 Virgin wraparound variant. So I found a great deal on eBay. Was able to snag one of these for less than half price. So jumped on that with the new series coming out. And this is probably, this book, I put it in a thick Mylar, and this is probably in the best shape of any comic book I've ever purchased. It just looks flawless, perfect. So I may be sending this into CGC. I saw them selling for, $80, graded at like a 9.8, maybe 9.6, maybe. So for what I paid for it, a little grading, maybe it'd be worth it. Maybe I'll just keep the slab because, for a guy in my position doing comics and crosses, how many, biblically themed comic books do you come across, right? Alright guys, so thanks for hanging with me. I really appreciate it. I hope you've been enjoying the channel. Be sure to like and subscribe. Give me your feedback. Maybe you're reading some of the same books. Tell me what you think. And, thank you so much for your time, for joining me. I just wanted to say one extra little note today that's worth noting is that, it's been a rough week for me, honestly, mentally. There's been some struggles, some challenges, some stresses with life, with work, with relationships, with, all sorts of stuff. Just the pressures of, being a full-time employee, being a self-employed on the side, being a husband, a father, and so many other things. And New Comic Book Day was a real joy to me. It was a real joy to me to go to the shop, to pick up the books, to chat with them, chat with you now about them, and about the things that I'm really enjoying. Sitting down and reading some of these books it's a real time of peace, for me. And so I just want to take a moment to say, these are hard times where a lot of us are closed in a lot, working at home, maybe different scenarios, situations. So take time to care for yourself out there. It may sound cheesy, but you're a child of God. You're here on this earth for a reason. God created you, and He loves you. And I just want to take a moment to remind you that it's you're worth it to care for yourself. You're worth it to take a moment to pause, to reach out to family members when you're struggling, to reach out to your comic book community. Let people know, and you'd be surprised how many people care. I was encouraging somebody on Twitter just this week, and they're, like the people that we know through social media, maybe our relationships aren't the same as they were. We don't get to see as many people in person as we once did. So be grateful for the relationships you have. Take advantage of them. Connect with other people. Hey, keep reading, true believers. Enjoy those comics. Tell me how you feel. Thank you for your time. Love you. Peace.